Welcome to Keep It at 100 Oklahoma High School Sports on this Wednesday afternoon, folks. You know how we do it. We jump around all different types of days, nights, whatever day it is. But, man, I'm back in studio with my man Big E. He held it down last week, folks. If you didn't get a chance to catch him and Matt Thomas talking about, what's going on in the world of sports, talking about clutch culture, pro skills and all the things that Matt got going on, and Big E holding the show down while I was out of town watching my son do Division II Nationals up in St. Louis, folks. It didn't turn out the way I wanted it, but I'm proud of the kid because he did make it as a true freshman. So, we got a special guest on tonight, a young man out of Mustang, Oklahoma, a two-time state champion, two-time runner-up, signed with the University of Oklahoma. He's going to be joining his big brother, Cam, over there, Piccolo over there at University of Oklahoma. And, folks, if you've been watching OU's wrestling, man, they've been putting some good things together, man, bringing in Piccolo. This guy's a natural. Greco, freestyle. The kid is a stud. He kind of got banged up in the state championship. We'll get a chance to talk to him. His father's the head coach over there at Mustang Broncos. We'll talk to him and talk about them winning dual state. So we'll be back with him right after what?
After one of our sponsors.
Be right back.
With 25 years experience in the industry, Line-X Customs OKC is your one-stop shop for all your vehicle accessory needs. Specializing in spray-in liners, lifts, levels, wheels, tires, bed covers, and anything else you need to make your ride look and sound better. Call Eric and the boys at 405-778-8878.
You tired of going out to your trash can, having to smell so bad? Well, no further. Call Spiffy Cans. He cleans, disinfects, sanitizes. 405-423-8824 or go to spiffycansok.com. Spiffy Cans, he's your man.
Spiffy Can, he's your man. Welcome back to Keep It at 100 Oklahoma High School Sports. Our special guest tonight is Tate Piccolo from the Mustang Broncos, the OU commit. What's going on, Tate?
What's up? Thanks for having me on.
Man, it's a pleasure to have you on, man. I know I've talked to your dad a couple of times this year about getting you to come on, man. And I just tell you, you guys coming off that dual state champion, man. You went through Choctaw team that you had last year in the semifinals. You guys came up a little bit short last year against Broken Arrow, but you guys found a way to pick it off and get one this year, man. I know you've been kind of banged up. You didn't get to finish your senior year as a three-time state champion. You was favored to win, but I know you hurt your knee. So tell us a little bit about, how your season went, with COVID and everything going on.
Yeah, with the whole COVID thing, it's been a weird season, never knowing if a tournament's going to get canceled or a duel's going to get pushed back. So our team's been really flexible, and I think that's something that really helped us have such a successful season is because no teams knew if they were even going to get a chance to wrestle. So just being able to go with the flow and stuff like that, and we made it work, even though it was such a weird season.
That's true, though. Like I said, it's been kind of crazy. You're looking at some of these guys, going into state. Some of these kids had 5 or 6 wins, and usually you seeing a kid win a state championship, he's sitting at 33-2 or something like that. Some of these kids are sitting at 9 or 10 wins, winning the state championship, and it's been a crazy year. And I know you've been kind of banged up, man, and, you had to kind of injury fall out your state championship match against the kid from Bigsby. Then I heard you turn around and destroyed that kid, 2 weeks later. So, you kind of let him know you still the man on campus, even though, hey, you got me in the finals, but I'm going to get you in duel when it all counts, though. But, real quick, I was want to kind of talk to you about Tate, how many matches did you lose all through high school? Is it just 2?
So my freshman year, I went 33-3, losing in state finals, to the same kid that beat me early in the season. So I had 2 losses to Jackson Gilmore from UConn. And then I went my whole sophomore, whole junior, and then whole senior year up until the finals undefeated. So I ended with a record of 151-4.
Man, that's amazing, man. But that's just talking about your high school. That's not even talking about what you do in Greco and freestyle, which you beat some top dogs in that. I know you've been in freestyle and Greco, and you beat up on some guys that's sitting over at OSU, the kid out of Tuttle, his dad was a coach. I can't think of his name right off the back.
Luke Serber.
Yeah, Serber. Yeah, I know you beat those guys a couple times, man. Here you've been a younger man beating up on those guys. So you decided put on the crimson cream, and your brother's up there right now. And I tell you, OU. I know your dad was kind of pumped. He did the kind of broadcast for the Big 12 tournament. I know he's kind of pumped because we're gonna have both his boys up at OU. But what made you pick OU? Because people look at it, man. You was one of the top ranked wrestlers in the state. Could have went to any school you want, but you ended up deciding to picking OU. So what made you pick them over all the other schools?
Yeah, so OU has been a historically good wrestling program if you look like all the way back. But the last couple of years we haven't had a whole lot of success. So a lot of people didn't really put OU on the board, but being able to be in that room with the RTCs and stuff over the summer and seeing how they were building and they were on the come up it was something I knew I wanted to be a part of. And plus Lou Roselli and Coach Heflin, I just feel like it has one of the best coaching staffs in the nation, and I just know it's a place where I can achieve my dreams.
I mean, you're right about that. OSU beat them twice during the regular season, then during the Big 12 tournament, they ended up tying, and OU had a good chance to win the tournament, But I tell you right now, I got to give it up to Coach because he has done a great job in the last, few years he's been here. Then adding you and your brother to the lineup, then you got some other kids that came in, 2020. You got Jared Hill coming in, and you got Tanner Cook over there, that's already out of Collinsville. That's not even in the lineup yet. That's a stud. Like I said, you guys got some great wrestlers over there, and I'll tell you, man, they're going to just keep getting better because, adding you to the punch. And, I know I was reading some stuff on Facebook the other day, and everybody was kind of like, why did Piccolo go to, OU and not OSU? And then, but the deal is, like I said, sometimes people want to go to the, everybody don't want to go to the team that's always the top. I think what he's doing and adding you and adding some of the other guys he's adding is making OU a stronger fit to become a Big 12 championship, to compete and go over and be able to fight anybody in the Big 12 or anything outside of the Big 12. So I think he's done a really great job. And, like I said, adding you guys, some of the younger guys to the mix and going on and competing against the teams like OSU, Iowa State, and some of those other teams. So congratulations to you on that. I talked to your dad kind of a little bit at the state tournament. I asked him, was he going to leave Mustang? He said, no, man, he still got one more kid he got to take care of. So that's a good job with him because, like I said, I know his wrestling background, wrestling at where did he go? Michigan State? Is that where you're from? Yeah, so, added him, to OU's mix would be even big time too. So, what you got planned for the summer? You going to try to get the knee healed or, what's your goals for this summer?
Yeah, I actually got surgery coming up Monday, so get that over with pretty quickly, and then just focus on recovery, get ready to move into college, and be ready to step in the lineup whenever they need me.
So tell me this though, going into dual state, you get hurt in the state championship, match, you injured, you fall out, then you go into dual state, and you guys beat up on poor Choctaw. Beat them pretty bad. Poor Yellow Jacks, man, they got stung by you guys. But so kind of tell me, going into that, was you planning on wrestling? Did it come down to like, hey, we need you this match, or did you wrestle all the duels, or did you just wrestle just that one?
It's kind of like that thing I was talking about, the flexibility. Like going into it, we had I was going to wrestle or not. My dad just said, be ready every match. If it's a close duel, we need you, we'll throw you in. But we didn't really want to risk injury, so the duels that weren't that close, he didn't want to put me in there just in case. But against Edmond North, we ended up winning by 11 points. So I got a pin. So if I didn't step in and our backup got pinned, we would have lost that duel. So just being able to step in whenever we needed me was our game plan.
Well, that's pretty cool. What they need to do over at Mustang High School is get a picture of you and put the GOAT on it because you are the man for Mustang, you know what I'm saying? Especially a guy like you, man. I was kind of reading the article and talking about you. You have more to lose than more to win on that, You're going into college, got a chance to start next year for OU as a true freshman, and, you could have injured yourself even more, but you did it for the team. And, let's think about it, man. People don't know. I've seen you at wrestling tournaments, man. You're one of the most athletic guys I see. Guy can do a triple backflip. The guy, just to see the way you can get up and jump, man. If you ever probably wanted to go play college football, you could with your size and all that. But you're one of the most athletic guys I've seen. So it's just pretty cool to kind of see you when you're out there and you do your little backflips and you always have a smile on your face, man. And I just tell you, man, I know knowing your mom and dad, even your grandma, you guys come from a great family. So One thing I do want to ask you, though, because you did have this in your house, a few years back, you can see what's going on with the Norman in the Midwest City, the announcer, and them calling the girls the N-word, and I know a couple years ago you guys had that problem with one of your wrestlers and a wrestler from Choctaw, and your dad had to handle that, and I know you guys are not raised like that, and your dad's not like that. How did your dad handle that situation, though?
Oh, my dad had absolutely zero tolerance for anything like that. That kid, immediately after that tournament, was no longer allowed in the room. He wasn't accepting anything like that, and it's something that is plaguing not only just the sports, but the entire nation, and just putting a division between us. So, like the Norman thing you were just talking about, I don't see how anybody thinks that's acceptable.
And that's the thing about it, though, man. I know, when it all happened, folks, if you didn't know, it happened to my kid. But the Piccolo, Miss Piccolo, and Mr. Piccolo was really outreaching, text me and Gabe, so they're sorry. I mean, we've been dealing with, Tate and, his brother from Little League on up. So we know them, got a chance to know him. And I know Gabe has wrestled your brother a little bit, but the way your dad handled that, and I just want to kind of tell people, because sometimes people don't think it get handled, and your dad did a great job handling it. So I just want to kind of give a shout out to your dad and your mom, and and the rest of the Mustang program for what they did, in handling that, because it is a sad situation that it is 2021 and we still got people talking like that and acting like that. And being a wrestler and being in a room, you're gonna have brothers that's white, black, Mexican, different races. So you can't go into college not being able to have a brother that's a different color skin of you. So it's so ignorant that people still think that way. And I tell people all the time, I can't never get into that way, because one of my daughters is dates a white guy, and my sons date white girls, and you know what I'm saying. So I can't never see color, because we don't have color in our house, and that's good that you guys are getting brought up like that, and that your way your dad handled that. I just want to kind of give a shout out to Mustang program and and Mr. Piccolo and Miss Piccolo for the way they handle that. But Tate, man, it's been a pleasure having you on Keep It 100 Oklahoma High School Sports, man. I'm excited. You guys got a chance to win dual state. You seem like it was a good time, and I really want to have you on here because, one, I think you risked a lot to do for your team to help them win a championship, and you did that. So I think that's pretty cool. Anything you got to say to anybody that's listening, about something cool about you, something somebody don't know about, you like to tell the people?
I don't have much going on besides wrestling, so just look forward to watching the Crimson and Cream on the come up these next couple of years, and thank you for having me on. It was a pleasure.
It's a pleasure having you on, man. Take care, Mr. Piccolo.
You too, sir.
Thank you.
Boomer Sooner.
Boomer Sooner. Folks, that's Tate Piccolo, man, a young man. Like I said, man, he kind of lost the match. You heard his record. What did he say? 151 and
4, yeah, something
and,
crazy.
And four losses in 4 years of high school. Kid would have been a 3-time state champion. He had the injury fall out, his senior match, in the state championship. Came back to help his team win a dual state championship, which is pretty cool. So he's still going to get that ring. He's going to take his talent to the University of Oklahoma, which is I'll tell you right now, it's probably one of the hottest upcoming wrestling teams it's in the nation right now. Everybody talk about OSU, but OSU's going to lose a lot of guys. And I'll tell you, Pacelli's doing a great job of getting these kids recruited and getting them in there. And I just tell you, adding this kid, he's probably one of the number one recruits. He's kind of like Anthony Ferrari the year before. You adding him to the mix, man. The kid can wrestle. The kid is athletic. And I tell you, he comes from a good family. Like I said, we kind of talked about a minute ago about the whole racial thing, and it was crazy because, people don't know. I know he kind of hit on this subject the other day when he was on with Matt. It's a sad subject because, do I fault the guy? Am I mad at the guy? Hell no, I'm not mad at the guy because, people are going to do dumb things. We've always done dumb things. The only thing we can do is pray for that guy and hopefully he can get the right help and get himself together because it is a sad deal, and you hope society would change because, it was funny. I was just watching The Bachelor. Yes, I do watch The Bachelor. And it was kind of the same thing on The Bachelor. You had the first African-American black man on The Bachelor. It came down to a white chick and a black chick. He didn't let the black chick go, picking the white girls. And finally, a couple months into the show, you know how that stuff goes. He found out she had kind of dressed up in a plantation dress and, he's kind of sent her packing and on her way. Chick's 24 years old. I mean, does she know right, wrong? Yeah. Sometimes you do dumb things. and maybe at the heat of the moment, which, I kind of question myself. I think all that shit's kind of fake. Excuse me, keeping it 100. I think it's kind of fake. Only reason I think it's kind of fake because he had to go to meet her mom and dad. So if they were racist, they would have had his black butt in the house. So that's why I think all that stuff's kind of, kind of fake. But it is true in America what's going on with all this stuff, though, Big E. So how do you feel about it, though?
Matt made a really good point last week. If you didn't see it, I didn't really give it much thought until he said something about it. But he was like, in America, we had made race a thing. Like, you go on a job application, you fill out any piece of paperwork that you have to put information. There's boxes where you check what race you are. And then he was talking about, well, you go anywhere else, they don't have that, and that just kind of makes you think, like, why does race matter? I mean, in some ways it matters. There's culture behind race. You got different foods, holidays, like all types of cool stuff behind like races and different ethnic groups, and that's what makes things interesting. It makes things fun. Like me, I was one of those guys that, like, whenever in geography class we were learning about different cultures, I love that, and I want to go out and I want to experience other cultures, because I think it's dumb just to live and know how to live one certain type of way. That's just me, though. I know that's not everybody, but that's just what interests me. But at the same time, like, it's just pure ignorance on people's part that are that way, that don't see things the other way. And, it all comes down to that age-old saying that we've been told from since we were little kids is put yourself in somebody else's shoes.
It's kind of funny because this guy is he does broadcasting for high school games, whether it's football, basketball, whatever sport it is. Yep. He had to be around African-American people. So it's not like it's the first time he walks into the gym and he sees Millwood City play at Norman. The funny thing about Norman had white girls kneeling. So I guess he was calling everybody the N-word. And, and it's sad. Like I said, I hope the guy get educated. Somebody said he's a youth pastor. I mean, I don't know what kind of youth pastor he's portraying or teaching. I told somebody jokingly, maybe he's a youth pastor of a Klan rally, but it's just my thing, keeping it 100. So that's what I do here, baby. So, but my biggest thing is that, like I said, I hope the guy can get help because, granted, he has kids and like I said, race is not taught at home. Racism is taught at home because two kids can go into a daycare, they can go to a playground, they're going to play with each other. Shout out to my baby girl, Ivy. She started daycare today over at Good Shepherd, and so she's going to be playing with kids today, and she's not going to come home and say, Papa, the little girl I play with is white or black. She's going to play with all the kids. Kids are taught that, not to play with each other. And I love how you said, hey, man, my mom is Persian. Yep. So you're like, hey, I have to deal with that. And sometimes you do get looked, and I've had to deal with, talk to my daughter about it because she does date a guy outside our race, as a white guy. But I love Cam because of Cam. I don't love Cam because he's 6'7", he's white. I love Cam because he treats my daughter good, and that's what I want. And, same thing with my boy's girlfriend. So, it's something we can jump in later. We'll come back after one of our sponsors. Keep it 100, Oklahoma High School Sports. Glad to be back, folks. I really am. Hey, Zoe, I'm looking for some good insurance. Do you know anybody?
If you're tired of messing with the general, call Bobby Lewis. He can take care of your cars, house, boats, and even your pets. He has 2 locations. Del City, 4805 Southeast 44th Street. The number is 405-670-3665. And his new location is 1654 South Choctaw Road, Suite 107. Like a good neighbor, Bobby Lewis is there.
What's wrong, Zoe?
Hey, don't worry, Tony. We got our guys at Proactive Protect to keep us safe. They can come out to your house, school, or even your business. You can give them a call at 844-X-Virus-X, which is 844-984-7879, or you can visit them at proactiveprotect.com.
You're always protected by Proactive Protect. Welcome back to Keep It 100, Oklahoma High School Sports. Like I said, on this Wednesday evening with my man Big E. I know he got to get this wrapped up because he gets to go do his thing tonight at the church. But Big E, we kind of talked to Tate Piccolo, kind of talked a little bit about the Norman deal. What do you kind of got on your mind over there, brother?
Not much. I mean, what I was going to do is just go through all the state champions in basketball, and then I think you were going to touch on some dual state champions in wrestling.
Yeah.
So,
real quick though, Big E, I just want to give a good shout out to we said it here first at Keeping It what?
Keeping it 100.
That who's going to be the next coach at who? Dell City is who? Robert Jones.
Robert Jones.
We said that, you know, Don gets the Carl Albert job. You bring the defensive coordinator up from Dell City to make him the first African-American head coach at Dell City High School. Good shout out to Robert Jones, man. Congratulations. I mean, I'll tell you one thing about Andy Carter. He ain't discriminating. That guy from that radio station, he's probably going to hang out with Andy Carter because Andy Carter, you got an African-American coach over at Mill City, got an African-American coach over at Dell City. So I tell you right, man, great job what Mill City's doing to getting African-American guys promoted. And I'm not saying because they're black or white or none of that, but just a good kudos to those guys getting out there, especially Robert Jones, a young man that went to Carl Albert, was the defensive coordinator at Dell City. Now he's the head man over at Dell City, and I think he'll do good things, man. Yep. Dunn's going to do great things. You know, like he said, he's going to bring 7-on-7. I've already got a kid that's moved in, you know, left out of Choctaw. You didn't know that. Richie DeQuazy's boy is going to go over there and, you know, compete for the starting quarterback and defensive back. So it's pretty cool to see that kid. You know, he's a good athlete, man. I know having him go over there, man, and if he can get the job done, then they have a dual threat quarterback, you know. Probably not a greatest polisher passer as Ben, but probably just good enough as athlete, though, man. So I think it's pretty cool to kind of see those guys. You know, he get a chance to do his thing over at Carl Albert, you know. And that's the thing about it, man. You got a guy like Coach Don. He's already pubbing you. If you're watching, you follow him on Twitter, man. He's already pubbing kids, giving him good shout-outs, man. You know, their basketball team just won the state championship, Coach Price. And, you know, has done it in 5A, and Lenny Hatchett did it in 6A, man.
Yes, sir.
You know, and so great job there. But I know that's your thunder. I ain't going to steal that, though. So we'll let you talk a little bit about the basketball.
Yeah, starting off on the girls' state championships, you had Norman coming over Bixby. I think, you know, after everything they'd went through this season, I think, or just in the past few weeks, they deserved to win that game, and they did. So congrats to the Norman Lady Tigers over there. In 5A, you got Sapulpa beating Tahlequah to win the 5A state championship. And then at 4A, you got Tuttle putting the smackdown on Fort Gibson, winning 53-38. So Tuttle wins that game, and they're holding the gold ball now. And then another really good game here, or I say really good, but we had talked about them earlier in 3A. Coach Holbrook over there with the Jones, way to go,
Coach Jenny, first state championship. Jones kind of set a record too, you know, been, you know, winning their first girls state championship. Jenny's a great coach, man. I'm just telling you right now, man. I wish Jenny was in a higher division because I would love my baby girl to play for her. But I just tell you, man, it really don't matter in basketball because if you can play, they're gonna come find you. And I'm telling you right now, Jenny has opened the door for college coaches to come see him. One of the biggest shockers that you kind of talked about it last week is watching Choctaw get beat, you know, out against Bigsby. And Bigsby's a young team, but you know, Bigsby made it all the way to the
they made it to the state championship
and barely lost to Norman though. And
they hung in there.
You know,
showed some fight.
I just tell you right there though, you know, Bigsby. I mean, they're taking care of business in football. They're doing a thing in basketball. And I'll tell you, they're probably gonna be good in baseball and every other sport you got. You know, Bigsby is the new Jinx or Owasso in small 6A. But like I said, great shout out to Jenny Holbrook and the Jones Longhorns winning their state championship. Congratulations, young ladies.
Yes, sir. Then in 2A, you got Howell beating Silo 71-57. Then in the smaller classes, oh, never mind. It doesn't show me the games for Class A and B. Moving on to the boys' side. We already mentioned this, talked about it, but Dell City gets the win against Edmond Memorial in a really close game, a really good game. I called it. I think it was last week. I was like, man, I'd love to see that Dell City versus Edmond Memorial matchup. We got it. It lived up to the hype. Dell City comes out winning by 3 points, 47-44.
Damn, that was a good game.
Yeah. And then 5A, I mean, I think this team dominated 5A all year. Just like they do in football, they did the same thing in basketball this year. Carl Albert beating Lawton Mac 72-49.
I got something good. I got a trivia for you, Coach E. I mean, Big E.
Okay.
Keep going. I'll let you. I mean, I want to say something real quick. You're
All
still talking about Dell City. I got something to say. This is going to be good, folks.
All right. One thing I wanted to say about Carl Albert, they have this kid. His last name's Cujo, I think. And every week, I get on Twitter. Every week during the basketball season,
Cujo.
I got on Twitter. He had a crazy dunk.
Yeah.
that dude can jump out of the room. He's crazy. But yeah, what you got for me?
So tell me this trivia question: what coach, athletic director, has a state championship for football? I'm sorry, for 2 basketball teams in 1 year.
Coach Dunn.
Coach Dunn.
Yeah.
Hey, good
1
job,
for 1.
Because hey, he's at Dell City.
Yeah.
He's at Carl Albert, so he got both. The guy can say, "Hey, I need a raise, Andy. I got 2 state championships in 1 year in the same sport." So great job to, like I said, Carl Albert and Dell City and boys basketball, man. Great job, like I said, Coach Price and Coach Lenny Hatchett. You know, he kind of struggled at the beginning of the year, man. I know Dell City was the team was supposed to win it last year, and then they came out and did their thing this year. And Lenny's gonna keep bringing talent in there. He's like, think about it though. If you can hoop, you're gonna go see Lenny Hatchett. You know, and I think Lenny's won the state championship with Edmond Santa Fe too, or he made it to the finals. So he might have two state championships, one in 6A and one in I guess they both be in 6A. So great job to him. But like I said, Coach Price does a great job with the boys basketball team over there at Carl Albert.
Yeah. And then moving on to 4A, another really good game. A game that everybody, including myself, was looking forward to. Kingfisher versus Heritage Hall. Heritage Hall, they got Trey Alexander, Auburn commit. He'll be playing at Auburn next year. And a pretty competitive SEC championship, I didn't really... I mean, the SEC is good, but I always thought, as far as basketball goes, the 3 conferences I like watching is the Big 12, ACC, and the Big East. You don't really hear much about SEC teams, but it looked really competitive for basketball, and I think they will be next year as well. So he'll be playing at Auburn, but unfortunately his team falls to Kingfisher. Kingfisher has Bijan Cortez. He'll be playing at OU next year, where hopefully they can get back to where they were earlier this season. OU was at they're in the top 10 teams in the nation, and then later on in the season they just kind of fall apart. And then news just came out today that their second leading scorer, Davion Harmon, will not be able to play in the first round due to COVID-19.
Well, those guys got to get it back going over there, with the Sooners, man. At one point in time, they beat, 3 top 10 teams in a week.
1 week, yeah.
Like it's a week span. But I just tell you, thing about, we talked about Heritage Hall, Alexander, he never won a state championship.
Yeah.
I think all 4 years of high school, he never won one. I think he might have won one. I think he was at Cassidy his first year. Then he went to Heritage Hall the last few years. So he might have won one his freshman year. I'm not sure. But Kingfisher's kind of put the clamps on him and kind of held him down. But like I said, you got 2 guys from Kingfisher's going D1. One's going to OU and the other one's going to North Texas. And I'll tell you, North Texas got in the tournament this year, the NCAA tournament this year too. So I just tell you where these teams are going, man. They're getting these kids and turn the map and, getting these guys. So you can go to play. That's the thing I like about college basketball. You can be at a small school and go take care of business. I got a chance to watch Hurl, that used to be the point guard at Carl Albert a couple weeks ago. He plays at Texas State. Yep. And I got a chance to watch him, man. And I tell you, those announcers, man, every time they said something, they were saying his name. So I tell you right now, that young man got a chance to go play in the NBA. So he keeps doing what he's doing there. He got a chance to play in the NBA. But like I said, congratulations to all these teams that won state. Like I said, and what 4A, you had what you said you had. Kingfisher
and Heritage Hall,
and then 3A. Who you got in 3A?
Crossings Christians versus Beggs. Crossings Christian comes out with the win barely, 49-51. Really close game.
That was a tight game.
Yeah, it was a really close game. A lot of nerves, I bet, in that one. And then the last game in 2A got Oklahoma Union beating Howe, 64-54, and that's kind of interesting. You had Howe play in girls state championship and boys state championship.
I tell you, Howe must be a good school. You want to send your kid to be a hooper? Send him to Howe. But that's pretty cool. That's pretty cool. You want to talk a little bit of wrestling?
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, we're going to go into dual state, man. This year they kind of did a difference. You had your big state, then usually it's dual state, then the big state. But this year they did big state, then dual state. So after those guys got done with the big state, they had to wait around for 2 more weeks to go into dual state. Dual state was held out in Enid. I did get a chance to go watch a little bit of wrestling. The individual wrestling. I got a chance to go watch it, and I tell you, the team that won that was Stillwater. They're completely loaded, man. I think they had 3 or 4 state champions. The team to look out for the next few years is going to be Edmond North. I think they had 9 true freshmen that made it to the tournament, man. And so it's pretty excited. Choctaw was kind of down this year. I think the best placer was Sean Muse. I think he took third. But I just tell you, Broken Down, they were kind of down this year. I don't even know if they had a state championship at their weight. But Stillwater was a team. Carter Young, kid we had on the show, he won another state championship, so he's a 3-timer. And folks, I tell you, man, it's hard to win one, and if you can go win 2 or 3, that's amazing. But I just tell you right now, Edmond North is going to be the team to beat, and Bigsby's right there with him. But in dual state is a little bit different as a team. You win as a team, so it's all about how many team points you can get. And Mustang just kind of took care of business. Like I said, they had to bring Piccolo kind of out of the early retirement, from being hurt to help them win the duel. But I mean, they beat some good teams. Like I said, they knocked off Choctaw the first round. And then I think they had Edmond North the next round, knocked him off, and had Bigsby in the finals. And Piccolo got his revenge on the kid that beat him in the state finals. But he got his chance to knock him off in the dual state. So congratulations to, like I said, Mustang and for winning their first state title in Class 5A. This is funny, folks. That's why I tell you, when you put on your video, it'll get you in trouble. Collinsville was a favorite to win 5A dual state. But I guess after they won 5A big state, individual state with their team, they stayed in the hotel extra night or whatever. Some kids got on Snapchat, kind of want to show off. And I tell you, that Snapchat stuff will get you in trouble. So whatever happens on Snapchat should stay on Snapchat. Don't be trying to send it off. But I guess it got linked out that they was drinking and partying. So Scott Took or whoever, went back and sent it to OSSA. They investigated. Guess what? Collinsville gets kicked out of the tournament, so they don't get to go to dual state. And guess who wins dual state? Scott Took. Yeah. See ya. We're going to take your place. We're going to throw a little dirt on you. And guess what? We're going to take your spot. So guess what? Scott Took is putting on the rings, sizing the rings up right now while Collinsville is throwing that keg party. So, folks, if you got kids out there, tell them to be smart, man. Don't be going putting that stuff on Snapchat because that can hurt the kids recruiting and all that. Coach is one of the guys that's in their program. I mean, every kid we all know is going to go out and party 1 or 2 times in their lifetime, but be smart when you do it, and don't be putting it on social media so everybody can see it. So Scott took Duncan, beat them 42-27. Tuttle does it like they always do. They did have some points scored on them, but they win 4A dual state against Cushing 52-15. And then Marlowe beat up on Blackwell and beat them 53-15. So congratulations to all those teams that won dual state. And every young man that won the individual state, you got baseball going on right now. Then you kind of got spring ball, 6 and kickoff, and powerlifting. So we're going to get a chance to get out there, and guess what? Things are starting to open back up. So you really probably got to wear a mask when you go visit a coach and go see him lifting weights and do all those things. So me and Big E can kind of get out there and do our things. You can see Big E can do it now. He ain't got to have TJ. He can run a show by himself. So he did a great job last week, like I said, with Matt, Thomas and Thompson. Thomas or Thompson? Thompson, doing, his show with him, man. It was good to sit back and just watch it. I watched it yesterday, and I was sitting at Zori's training, and it was just had a little giggle on my face, sitting over to RT, and, our man behind the scene. He said he held it down, man, and that's what we want, though, man. It's just a great job. But so much going on in the world of sports right now, man. Everything's kicking off. Kids are playing baseball. Track is going on, and like I said, spring ball and all that. So it's going to be a really, really fun year. The year of 2022. Football season, man. I think it's going to be wide open. I know everybody kind of joins us more when we're talking football, but I think this is a great show. Got a chance to talk to Tate Piccolo. We'll have some more guests. I know Matt wants to do a round table. I think that'd be cool to do a round table and talk about some of the things, that goes on in the world of sports in the regular world, man. Like I said, we kind of talked about that one guy, what's going on with him, you hope something happens, but at the end of the day, you hope the punishment is fair. If he's a great broadcaster, I wouldn't say ban him. I think you learn from the mistake and move on. I think you don't hold people down. I think it just makes it worse when you hold somebody down. I know people's like, man, what are you talking about, Tony? I'm just keeping it 100. I think the guy made a mistake and you move on from it,
Yep.
I mean, that's coming from me. I don't get to make the decision, but that's just, my train of thoughts. You got anything else on your mind, Big E?
No, just the usual. Make sure you subscribe, leave a comment, leave a like. Let us know you said something you disagree or agree with. Let us know. You can hit me up on Twitter at I forget my Twitter every time. Ethan_Z_Davis, I believe it is, and then you can hit Tony up at
High Keep It.
High Keep
Not
It.
the marijuana high, like I said, just High Keep It. And folks, I get on Twitter, man. I like to get on there and give people a hard time, tease them, and laugh. And sometimes people get on me like, man, what are you talking about? I got on the other day and I said something about quit selling wolf tickets. And what I mean by that, folks, man, be honest with kids, man. That's one thing I got to say to some of these coaches, man. I think some of you coaches are so worried about your image and how you carry yourself. Just be honest. Tell somebody if that kid can't damn play. Just tell them. Keep it 100 with them. Yeah. Just say, hey, man, your kid might not be a D1 kid. Your kid might not be a Power 5. The best he might do is a small NAI. Just be honest with people. Don't go tell kids, oh, if you do this, you do that, you don't start. Man, just be honest, because I think sometimes that's what these parents get upset about, And I know my brothers like to get on there and they like to give some coaches a hard time and tweet stuff and, and all that. I sit back and laugh because, I'm past it. My kids are in college. Shit, they working on their second year of college, man. I'm past football. Deshaun just kind of hung up the cleats. He's doing the good things in his life, man. Kid's about to be making more money than some of these damn coaches and some of the people that's out there in the real world. So he's going to get his degree, but he's still going to work in the real world. Gabe, like I said, I really got a chance to talk about what he did at Nationals. He took second in regionals, took the number one kid in the nation to an overtime match. He lost 3-1, kind of tweaked his ankle, his ligament, no excuse. Went down there to St. Louis, man, excited to get down there. It was fun. It was kind of stressful, just trying to get tickets and trying to get everybody to go. Ended up going with just me and his Uncle Danny. Wife and daughter didn't get to go because they didn't know if they were going to get in or not get in. And it was still a weird environment, but, when you get there, they kind of say, oh, yeah, some people can get in, some people can get out, but it sucks not, having my daughter or Jessica there to, to support Gabe and watch Gabe. But, Gabe lost his first match to number 2 kid, 10-3. Then the second match, he looked like a dolphin out of water, just on his back flopping. But hey, that's okay. I'm gonna keep it 100 because he's my kid. But he knows what things he got to do to get better and get stronger. You're wrestling guys, ain't like high school, baby. You're wrestling grown men, Some of those guys look as old as Ethan or even older than me, So it was crazy. You're sitting there watching the guys warming up next to him. You're looking at him like, golly, that's somebody's daddy. And I ain't talking about somebody's daddy. That was somebody's daddy. So, but, he learned and, it was a good time. Coach Stiley kind of told him, hey, the steps of it is getting to the tournament. You got there. Second step is placing in a tournament. The third step is winning it. His Uncle Danny said, hey, let's skip step 2 and get to step 3. It's a long process, man. I'm just telling you, man, if you can get to that tournament, man, you started off 132 kids and only 10 kids came champions, man. And I tell you, every match that I got the chance to watch in the final was a great match. It was no blowing away, but I think a lot of kids could have been starstruck, but like I said, I'm proud of them. I'm always going to be proud of my kids no matter what direction they go, what they decide to do. I'm going to support them because I'm their father, but all I'll ask coaches in any sport, just be 100, man. Just, tell the kid, if a kid leaves you, don't say, hey, if you stay here, I'm going to do this and that. Don't sell wolf tickets. Just sell real tickets because I tell you, at the end of the day, people's going to respect you. Granted, people might not like what I say or what we say or whatever. Yeah. I just try to keep it 100 because at the end of the day, man, the biggest thing about you being a coach, a father, or any kind of role model, you want those kids to come back and respect you. And if you don't have people to come back and respect you, your program is never going to be nothing. And that's why the Colorado Tidings program is where it's at, even though Don's taking over, but you still have that coaching staff still in effect. That's why Bigsby where they're at, That coach had a chance to go over there and coach over at Broken Arrow. He didn't take the job, but you want your program to be like the early 90s when Midwest City was where they was at, when you had a Coach Dick, Coach Dick Evans, you had, Coach Faverka, Coach Huggins, Coach Smith, Coach Epps and Coach Oliver. All these guys went off to be great high school coaches. And there's a reason why they went off to be great high school coaches, because people loved them and believed in them. And that's the thing about it, man. I know part of coaching it's been a car salesman and all that. But at the end of the day, like I said, quit selling wolf tickets and keep it 100. That's my train of thought. You might not like it, but if you don't like it, call me and we can talk about it. And, don't get on my Twitter and be scared. Come call me. That's what it's all about, man. Don't text me behind closed doors and ask me what I'm talking about. Ask me. I'm the only person. He don't know. He might know after we get done with the show, but he don't know. But text me. What my brothers do on Twitter or what Ethan do on Twitter or Bobby or Joe, whoever, that's on them. I sit back and laughing because I think sometimes it's funny, but I think some of it is keeping it 100. So that's me keeping it 100. Oklahoma High School Sports. Another great show from my man Big E.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. Like you said, follow us, tweet us, reject us, whatever. I know we're up to 91 subscribers. Guys got to get back in the flow, man. There's not another high school sport team broadcast or anybody that's giving you great information. Granted, we might not be at every game, but we give you inside stuff. That's what we are. We're not field workers. We show workers, baby. We're going to give you the show. We're going to tell you what's going on. Some of these guys, man, it's so funny. I laugh at them because, shit, we've already said it, and they're already retweeting it, I'm not going to jump on somebody else's strap to get on board. We're going to do our own thing. We do it our own way here at Keep It 100 Oklahoma High School Sports. We don't follow none of these other guys, man. They follow us. That's what we do. They follow us. That's me keeping it 100. Big E, what else before we get out of here?
I don't got nothing else, man. I just appreciate you guys tuning in. Be on the lookout. We got fall sports pretty much all wrapped up now. Going to be getting into some spring football, a little bit of baseball, a little bit of what else is there? There's soccer, golf.
And we're still doing scholarships. Don't think we got away from that, man. All I got to do is find out who we want to. And that's something you guys need to describe. You just need to start sending your deals in, who people, if you got somebody that you want to nominate for athlete of the spring, let us know. And like I said, we'll do a 500 scholarship to that young man or woman. It doesn't matter. We'll whoever it is, tweet us with their information. We'll get to know them, maybe get them a couple questions and kind of put a hand in the book and, maybe at the end of the day kind of, pick who we want. If it's 45 entries in there, maybe narrow it down to, 10 to 15, and then we'll kind of go from there and pick the winner, and then that person will get a scholarship from Keeping It 100. It'll be sponsored by, LineX, my man Brad Collier,
Proactive
Protect.
Yep.
Bobby Lewis, all these other guys that we got on here. And so if you are looking for some sponsorship and want to get on one of our airs and, shoot your commercial, shoot you an ad or something, Zoe, myself, or Big E, we can do the talking for you. If you want to just have your logo and we talk about it, we can do that. If you want to do it like Eric does his, we can do that too. So all we want to do is keep giving you the great sports of Oklahoma. It's from good stuff to bad stuff. We're all one family. I'm out.
Peace.
Keep it 100.